How we doing, everybody? Wow, 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 wow. What a day it has been already. Can we give it up for everybody that's already here? You guys made it on time. You made it early. And everybody looks fabulous. I mean, I just don't know what to do with myself. But first and foremost, again, my name is Amanda J. I'm so happy to be, part of this event with my business partner, Oriana Campbell. Support Influences Success, SIS, however you guys want to refer to it. It came to fruition because we wanted to bring something to Orlando that was affordable to bring people to entrepreneurship. How many of you guys are excited for that? So, as you guys know, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that are going to be in the building, and they're all going to be teaching us tonight. And if applied correctly, you guys are going to learn so many gems, so many important things that you're going to be able to apply to yourself. But I'm not going to hog the stage tonight, guys. I have help of two amazing hosts. I'm going to bring them up. You guys want to shout for them real quick? And all I ask as we fill up the room, because we have more participants coming, we also have a live stream going, so we have people watching at home. Bring that energy for us, because we're going to bring it for you, okay? I'm going to bring my first co-host up to the stage. We got B.Rhodes. How you doing? And we're going to bring on Keisha. Y'all see her? Come on. And we're gonna start right there. We need one more mic. Oh, we're good. All right. I'm gonna let them take stage. All right, y'all?
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. How we all feeling today?
Yeah. Chair right here.
Awesome. So before we get started, just want each and every one of you guys to give yourselves a round of applause. You've done something that's vitally important, and that's making an investment in yourselves and in your future. So kudos to you guys. So as previously stated, my name is B.Rhodes, and this is the beautiful
Keisha Charisma.
And we're going to be your co-hosts for today's event. We're going to be here all day, all the way through 8 p.m. So get accustomed to seeing our faces, okay? So a couple of quick questions for you. How many of you guys are here to take your businesses to the next level? I would imagine everybody in the room should be wanting to take the business to the next level, right? Awesome. How many of you guys are here to create intergenerational wealth for yourselves? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Right, Keisha?
Yes, so if any of those are you guys are definitely here in the right place this afternoon. So another question for you guys. How many of you guys love technology? Yes, I know if you're like me, you struggle to put your phone down when it comes to like Instagram, Facebook, or even TikTok nowadays, right?
Absolutely. Well, the great news is, in this first panel session, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into how to utilize and leverage these platforms to work in our own favors. So let's talk tech and how it's shaping the future of business. Sound good to you guys? Yeah. Awesome.
Yes, so I'm so excited about this first panel. So our first panelist is going to be Lagina Smith. She's the founder of Luxxe, and she's also a well-respected leader when it comes to the human resource and technology software industry. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lagina Smith.
We have Miss Lagina. I think she's coming on up. We're going to go ahead and introduce our next panelist in the meantime. So our next panelist coming to the stage is none other than Mr. Johnathan Lightfoot. So Johnathan Lightfoot is the president of government contracting firm Symbiont. He's been involved with IT for the better part of 20 years. So please give a warm welcome to Mr. Johnathan Lightfoot. And here they come right this way, so we're going to make some space for them. Ladies first, of course, because we're gentlemen around here.
And next up to the stage, we have LeJiste. So she is the executive director of Black Orlando Tech. And in this role, she helps Black-owned startups in tech really make sure that they have a solid business foundation. Please give it up for LeJiste.
All right, and introducing last to the stage, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to you the founder of SIS and CEO of OC Business Development. Please give it up for Mrs. Oriana Campbell.
today, and just investing in yourself and your career and your family and your legacy. Everybody, yeah, we can take a seat. How y'all feeling this morning? It's early, Everybody's still waking up. We all waking up. How y'all feeling today? So I would like for All right, we good to go. So I would like to have everybody just introduce themselves and tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we jump into the discussion. So we'll start with you, Johnathan.
Is this on? Okay.
There we go.
Oh gosh, my mom's gonna have a heart attack if I go first. So can we please start on the other side, ladies first?
Okay, yes, ladies first. Ms. Rose.
Hello. Okay. My name is LeJiste. Born in Miami, raised in South Florida, Delray Beach. Came up to UCF for college. I have a bachelor's in industrial engineering. I worked out at Kennedy Space Center for about 15 years. In 2019, I decided to start my own business, RL Engineering and Tech Solution. In about, I think, 2018, I joined Black Orlando Tech. We're a nonprofit tech company, joined in as a strategic partnership and resources chair, and then took over as executive director at the beginning of this year. Black Orlando. Black Orlando Tech, we're a nonprofit. We're focused on basically getting more money into the hands of underrepresented communities and Black people. And so we do that through tech and our careers and also entrepreneurship and tech.
Awesome. How about you, Lagina?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. I am Lagina Smith. I'm originally from Miami, Florida. I am a graduate of the Florida A&M University. Got some regulars out there. Okay. I have a master's in business, and for the past 10 plus years, I've been in the human capital management software industry in different capacities. I've sold insurance for Aetna as a sales account manager. I've managed a portfolio for my current company called Paychecks, and I'm currently a national sales operations manager. I manage a team of account managers, solutions executives, you name it. So we do a little bit of everything related to human capital management and software to help small businesses really leverage their core competencies and focus on producing the products that they want to make and the services. So, I really do a lot from the technology standpoint of getting competent software processes out there. So I'm excited to be here to talk to all of you. And I'm also an owner of a company called Luxxe. It's a natural care products company. Self-care is super important, especially with in the times of COVID, right? We've got to take really good care of our skin, take care of ourselves, take care of our families. So natural self-care products, soaps, body butters, scrubs, you name it, really just focusing on helping people find their best selves. So I'm excited to be here, and hopefully you guys have some great questions for us. All right. Okay, Mr. Johnathan.
Finally, I won't have a heart attack. Hi, my name is Johnathan Lightfoot. I am with Symbiont Incorporated. My background is I was born in Miami, Florida, but I was raised in Dallas, Texas. And after I graduated high school, I was fortunate to enlist in the United States Navy, where I spent 9 years launching combat missiles. After I got out of the Navy, I did what most of my friends call is stupid. You're going to find out in a minute, you're going to probably be thinking the same thing, but I actually went and started just working in IT. My very first job was sweeping data center floors. And I did the sweeping for like maybe a month or two. I was done with it after a while. But over my 20-something year career in IT, I worked up from being a sweeper, data center, all the way to becoming a vice president of applications development. So everything in between, I've done it all. I was fortunate to publish 3 books for Microsoft Press on this little known platform called SharePoint. If you've ever heard of Teams, yeah, you're using my SharePoint.
Wow, okay. Nice.
I did that for a while. My last official corporate job was as a vice president of application development for a startup down in Boca Raton, Florida. And now I currently work for Symbiont. This is I saw earlier somebody asked about intergenerational wealth. I'm a product of that. So Symbiont is my family's company. My grandfather started back in 1985. We ran it for a while. My father took over. And then last July, my father called me and said, hey, I want to retire and just step up. So if you think about what I just told you, I went from sweeping data center floors all the way up. Well, Symbiont is an IT consulting company. So all my friends were like, why did you do all that? You could just go and work for your family's business and would have had a great life, but that's not what I wanted. So, but we are a government contractor. If you can think of a government agency, we've done work for them, all the way up to and including the White House and the Oval Office. So we've been everywhere. And we provide application development, web development, we manage call centers. If you are a vet and you call into the Veterans Administration benefits line, you're talking to a Symbiont employee.
Okay.
So we're very happy to be 36 years, and right now I call myself Symbiont 3.0, but Symbiont 4.0, which is my daughter and my nieces and nephews. We're already getting them ready for it. So that's what we do.
That's a beautiful thing. So I like that you guys start off by really digging into like your history and your area of expertise, because that'll really help our audience gauge a lot of the information that we're giving to them. When people think about technology, there are so many different realms of technology. Then as a business owner, we think about kind of what the host said when they introduced the panel, customer relations, social media, Square, Cash App, Zelle, how we transfer money, how we transfer data, and a lot of the times we're very caught in the actual using of the function in the app. We don't think about all the other things that come behind it. Like, yeah, we're sending out invoices, but how are we sending out invoices? How are we communicating and basically going about relating with our customers? So let's start with customer relations, because that's the most important thing, because we all are business owners, entrepreneurs, or aspiring to be at some point. The key component is our customers and how we're communicating with them, because ultimately our experiences with them and how we go about formulating our experiences and how we go through the transition in the process with them, that's going to basically determine whether they stay with us or they move on to another company based upon their ultimate experience. So when it comes to CRM or customer relations, what have you found to be kind of like the best practices for entrepreneurs just starting out?
I think the first thing that you need to do is identify what your objective is for your CRM. What are you looking for? What do you need? Also, the reason that you do this is because at different phases of your business owner or your entrepreneurship journey, your needs are always going to change. And so when you first start off, you may not need that big of a system or a application or software. You may need something that's going to provide certain tasks and activities. Identify what those are, and then look for a CRM system that meets those needs.
Okay, so what are some popular ones?
I know Salesforce. I know QuickBooks and FreshBooks have CRM built into them.
Okay.
A free one, HubSpot.
HubSpot is free.
Yeah.
And when we talk about these, what are like the main components of the actual customer relations? Like, what's the benefits for an entrepreneur to use these platforms? Like, let's start with HubSpot, because that's a free one. And ultimately, when you're starting a business, you want to keep your expenses low. So before you start to scale and you're paying $20, $30 a month for a subscription, it's always best to really start with the free resources that are available. So let's think about something like HubSpot. I know one of the key components to HubSpot is the fact that when you send out emails, you can track if the person opened them or not. Why do you guys feel like that's important?
You know, being able to look at the analytics
that's a big part of being a business owner.
Absolutely.
You want to understand where your spend is going and whether or not it's being effective. So being able to see whether or not people are opening a message, are they staying, looking at it, are they coming back to the website, is that information being tracked? How do you follow that customer in the journey of them just researching and getting to know you to potentially converting them to an actual client? So that's the key part of finding tools and resources from the technology standpoint. You don't just want to purchase something for the sake of saying you have a system, but you need that system to work effectively to help you, number one, drive data-driven decisions, and then number two, retain as much business as possible by way of staying connected to your customers.
Very good, valid points. Johnathan?
I mean, you summed it up right there. If you're not into analytics, get into it. And if you're gonna use a CRM or any of the tools, make sure you're pulling out good analytics out of it. Also, you know, when it comes to sales, getting a new person, for instance, one thing I like about HubSpot and other CRMs that do this is you can do what we call A/B testing, right? So I can have two separate types of emails go out to two different types of groups. And from through the analytics, I can see which one's resonating, which one are they opening, which one are they at least clicking on that link and going to my website, which one is taking them through my sales funnel to get that final sale and all. And other thing I would say about using something like HubSpot or any CRM is, you know, one of the biggest problems that small businesses have is keeping connected with your customer.
Very true.
The very basics of a CRM is, you know, every time I make a sale, let me capture that information. You know, if you go to Victoria's Secrets or Bed Body or
Bath and Beyond, Bath and Body Works.
What do they ask you for, right? What's your phone number, right? They're not asking you that just give you a free coupon. No, they want you in a database. They want to track what days were you there, what time were you there, what did you buy, how many of them did you buy, how often are you coming back every month, and all that is analytics that they break down. So if you ever have that weird thing where you'll go to your mailbox and you'll see a Bath and Body Works coupon,
Yeah.
and you're like, I was just about to go deal there. Yeah, they already tagged you. They know what you're doing. And so you as small businesses, make sure you have technology that lets you get that type of power and information.
It's so important. You mentioned like capturing people's information on every level. A phone number, an email address, and a full name will take you so far, especially when we talk about like marketing and building your clientele or building your customers over time. If you have a website, let's say a website. On the minimum on your website, you should have like some type of pop-up or newsletter subscription. So that way, every time somebody's coming to your website, you're able to capture their information. You might not use it right then and there, but later on down the line, maybe you want to send out a newsletter. Maybe you want to send out an email blast, or you have a sale coming. Now you have all the information and you're able to get that out there to them. So kind of now rolling off of the customer relations and reaching out to people, we think technology is social media. So what's the best way for an entrepreneur or business owner to really leverage social media? Because nowadays you're seeing like people will search for products on social media before they'll search on the internet. How do we leverage that?
Yeah, social media is super important. I think a lot of small business owners don't get the full capacity of what social media is able to do. Social media, like you said, people will go on Instagram or Facebook and they're looking for your brand there. And if you're not there, you know, it makes them wonder, okay, how legitimate is this business?
It's fake, right?
Right. You automatically associate these different social media outlets with legitimacy. So it's important to not only have a valid social media that you're continuously updating with content and data and information to support your business. Super important, but the other side of that coin is being consistent about the branding that you're utilizing on your social media. So the branding piece, making sure that the colors, the look, the feel, the aesthetics all go along the same line of your brand. Because essentially when people are going to your social media, their expectation is that what they see will be consistent with your brand. So your social media should be used for, you know, everything but the kitchen sink, if you've got a social media about cars, make all of the information relevant to cars, relevant to the information that car lovers want to see.
Absolutely.
Give them that content that they're hoping to consume, because by also providing that consumable data, you become a resource that they're constantly looking for new information from. And in the same light of them looking for information that they want to consume and know more about, they're learning more about your business. They're becoming a repeat customer. They're making you a brand that they talk about. That's really what you want to essentially get to by leveraging social media. You want people to associate your brand with whatever it is that you sell. You want them to feel like you're the expertise in that industry.
Engagement and consistency.
That's the key word, synergy and engagement. You gotta be able to get that for an audience to find you relevant and also exciting and want to continuously come back to your page. It's not just about getting that initial sale and people walking away. My sales team is national, and we are constantly focusing on, that touch. Every single touch with that customer is your opportunity to get more business in the future, to get referrals, to get, people talking about your brand. You've got to realize that it's not just about a transaction. You've got to grow organically by people seeing your product, seeing the content that you're giving, and wanting to continuously follow up with you. That's how you create long-term followership and keep your business relevant.
I'll add a couple of things to that also. Also with social media, recognizing when to separate your social media from your personal accounts.
Ooh,
I think that's
Big one, big one.
Yeah, especially with what type of service or product you have. There are some products or services where it makes sense to have maybe a slightly connected personal and business account, or have some of your personal things on there. But there are on the flip side, there's also products and services where you don't want to have your personal. It's all about your company's brand, your company's image, and you really shouldn't have anything personal on there. So recognizing that. The other thing I'd say is recognizing what platform works for your gets you the most engagement for your that client or the audience that you're targeting. If your audience is younger individuals, maybe college, high school, early 20s, they may interact more frequently with you on Instagram, and they may not do Facebook. So even understanding information, those type of data, and then using that data to then put more target in that one social media platform that you're getting more engagement, and that would target that audience that you're looking for.
Absolutely, very valid points.
The other thing I would tell you about social media is, there's a saying I heard a rich person something once. He said, don't build your mansions on a beach. If you think about social media, those are beaches. That's a great way to capture people, but you should be looking into, how do I build my tribe, right? Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Clubhouse, great ways of capturing people, but you should be looking at, how do I convert them to like a membership site?
Exactly.
Where I can have that, I have their email, I have resources on it to give to them. So if a TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Clubhouse, whatever goes away, I don't lose my people. And I see that big time on social media, Twitter.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I got 500,000 followers.
It can be gone at any time.
Yeah,
We don't own these platforms,
Exactly.
but you do own your platform and what you build. So making sure you have a website, making sure you have your MailChimp, making sure you have your subscribers and everything like that. That's going to keep you in the game in longevity, because we don't know how long these social media platforms are actually going to be around. We leverage them while we have them, but we have to be ready at any point in time to move on. Because just like at one point in time it was MySpace, now we Facebook, and everybody like MySpace who? It's going to be the same thing in a few years. The technology, is ever changing. So we spoke about like customer relations, we spoke about technology. Now let's talk more about security, because when we are working with our clients and we are working with our customers, whether they're buying something from us as small as lip gloss or they're paying $1,000 invoice, that's their information they're giving to us. They're entrusting us with that information. Anytime somebody shops with you and they swipe their card, you have all their information. How are we as business owners able to secure our information,
and make sure that our customers who are shopping with us know that our system is secure, that they don't have to worry about a breach. Breaches happen all the time. We heard about it with Target, we heard about it with Bed Bath & Beyond. It's something that on a larger scale, can we ultimately 100% avoid it? Not really, but as a business owner, we can do our due diligence to put the right steps in place to make sure that someone working with us knows that we take this serious, and we will do our best to safeguard their information. So how do you ladies and gentlemen feel about that?
Security. It's not, don't think you're too small, nobody cares about what you're doing. That should be your whatever you build, you should build it around security. Like we know, breaches are happening. I don't know if y'all paid attention, but when the Colonial Pipeline incident happened, that happened all the way to the President of the United States. He actually sent out an executive order with the way the government is going to be dealing with security in companies. Now you might think, hey, look, I'm selling lip gloss, or hey, I sell fashions. What does that have to do with me? What he actually was doing was he was starting a snowball. And what we're seeing happening right now is the federal government is now requiring all of its vendors to have certain things in place. DoD started first. And if you know anything about security in the government, DoD is the tail that wags it all. So whatever DoD does, the rest of the government's going to do. Now, it went further than that. The prime contractors, these are your SAICs, your Boeings, your large companies, Symbiont, we were then required to get secured. And guess what we're doing? I'm going to my subcontractors and telling them, you have to be secure. So this is something you should be thinking about right now, especially if you're setting up. Yes, we talked about HubSpot. I love HubSpot. And as a small business owner, like you said, Oriana, you want to save as much money as you can. But I will tell you that on the internet, we have the saying, you're either buying something or you're what's being sold. Bottom line, you fall in one of two categories, always. So if you look at something like the HubSpot, or you look at some of these free platforms and all, they're not just giving it to you for free out of the goodness of their heart. There's not some fund that they say, oh, we're going to fund to make sure we can give small businesses these things. No, they're taking your data. Remember I talked about analytics? Yeah, they're taking your data. They're taking your customers' data. And also, when you talk about swiping the cards, you're not just getting that information, you're also taking on responsibility, right? And some of you, how many of you are envisioning having international business, where maybe you're doing mail order or having customers in other countries? Europe? Yeah. So what is that thing that, I forget what Europe did, but the rest of the world is starting to do it right now, where basically you are liable if there's a breach and if it's discovered. And by the way, it will be discovered. It always is. It might be 6 months from now, but it's going to be discovered. So you should always be looking at these platforms. And yes, they have great value to them, but y'all gonna hate me for this. Read those terms of services.
Oh yes, they're gonna pay us for a reason.
Yes. What's happening on the, what am I committing to? What am I agreeing to? And what is my responsibility? And to take it even a step further, I'm a recent graduate of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. If you've never heard of it, get familiar. It's an awesome, basically a 13-week M.B.A. that's paid for and sponsored and driven by Goldman Sachs. But Goldman Sachs came in one day, one of our instructors with one of the vice presidents. He said, right now, part of Goldman Sachs, first of all, y'all know who Goldman Sachs is, right? A lot of people didn't know who they were. They're huge, huge financial. If you want to talk about getting money for your business, yeah, get familiar with Goldman Sachs. They just started, and I see a lot of beautiful Black women out here, but they just started their 10 million Black women program, where they are investing over $10 billion, I think is what they said, $10 billion in helping Black female entrepreneurs. So,
hope you guys are taking notes.
Get familiar. Goldman Sachs, Goldman Sachs, SACHS. And the program that you want to look up first is called the 10,000 Small Businesses Program. It's if you want information on there, I'll leave some cards here. Y'all can reach out to me. I can give you information about it. Awesome program. You want to talk about learning about business, Goldman Sachs is on lockdown. Now, when I talk Goldman Sachs, if you don't know who they are, you've all heard of, I don't know, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citigroup. Yeah, Goldman Sachs, they buy all those companies.
All right.
They're huge, And their whole program is run by a black woman, yes. She is, I call her the Beyonce of Wall Street, she is awesome. But one of the things they said is they have a insurance side, and it's getting to the point now to where their insurance side, the insurance industry is actually looking at your business and to get insurance now. Right now, it was a cybersecurity add-on. It was an add-on. No, they're saying we're integrating it now. So if you want to get business insurance in the future, you better be able to show them a strong security plan, cybersecurity plan for them all. So things to start thinking about, because a lot of your businesses right now that well, every business should have insurance, first of all. And if you don't, some of you have more so. But yeah, in the future, they're going to say, so what's your security plan look like?
When it comes to cybersecurity, what are some companies that we should be looking into?
Symbiont.
Okay. Make sure everybody got that for their nose.
Symbiont. There's a lot of companies out there that do cybersecurity. Look, be very careful though. There are a lot of scam companies out there right now saying that they do cybersecurity and we'll help you. And they're going to talk about their pen testing and their red team, blue team stuff.
So do your homework.
Do your homework, understand. If you don't know, again, I'm available. I can tell you, I can separate the wheat from the chaff.
Absolutely. Rose?
I was gonna say, some other options or things to think about. Your passwords, making your passwords not something that somebody can easily break into. There's password generators or password programs like LastPass.
Do you recommend those?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I do, because it will automatically generate a password that's just unique on its own, that you don't have to create, and it saves the information. It's secure. I use it for my business.
Okay.
Yep.
I was always a little weary about that. I'm like, y'all can create a password for me, but if you guys are saying it's secure, it probably is, because it's not easily guessable.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also it's a vault. Certain things are deleted. If you research it, it's very secure, especially for a small business. When you get insurance, if you do transactions over the internet, there is a terrorism clause or app that you can add to your business insurance. I know for my business that is something I had to get because my customers are government and government contractors, so it's required. That when it comes to this, it was not a lot. It's something that you mentioned. It's like either you pay little now, or you're gonna pay a lot down the road.
We're trying to save money.
Yeah. And then when they talk about these, breaches, you only hear about the big ones because they're news. The small companies get breached all the time. You're not going to hear about it because they don't care. But if you're thinking about the number of breaches that happen to these larger companies, well, number one, the fact that they get breached, if they have money to hire whole teams of security and cybersecurity professionals and experts. So if they're going to get breached, you're just a crumb that they can easily swat at or come after. So definitely take it seriously. Secure, use different options that are out there, and just keep your stuff safe. And also, even when you're traveling and you have your laptops, make sure the newer laptops are biometric now, where you can sign on. Either they'll do a visual scan of your face, thumbprint. Think about those, because say if you're traveling, like you're in a conference now, and you forget your laptop, if you don't have security on that, all your information is available. So those little steps are huge, and those are things that you can do now without having to spend that much money.
So it's important as a business owner to really do your due diligence and really research these systems that you're using, really research cybersecurity, really look into these different platforms that you're using. Because ultimately, your customers, your clients, they have instilled their trust and faith in you that you're going to do right by them. So as a business owner, if you are going to take that step out there and be a business owner, we got to make sure we cover all our bases, and we're not just out there to get the bread. We also have to make sure that we are providing a very good customer service for our clients, because that's very, very key. We talked about So we talked about security, we talked about data. Let's talk a little bit about money, because right now everybody's accepting money from everybody, everywhere. Cash App me, Zelle me, Venmo me. It's so many PayPal. It's so many popular ones out here. Some are more secure than others. One of the things that I ran into, which is very important because a lot of business owners don't know this, is when you use Cash App. When somebody tries to dispute a transaction or you want to dispute a transaction, you get no say in that. And then also, I learned even further that let's say you buy something from me and I pay Cash App, but I do it from Zelle, from my bank account. So I'm thinking because it's coming from my bank account, right? My bank account should cover me. Should you not follow through and provide the service that I paid for? Or vice versa. So now when I want to, let's say, flag that transaction, because let's say I ordered something from you and you didn't deliver it. You never shipped it out. I should be able to rightfully dispute that through my bank, right? Because it's a transaction that didn't go through. But because you use Cash App, your bank's not liable. So you won't get that money back. So as business owners, we gotta stop using Cash App. It don't protect us. As consumers, don't use Cash App. And we're not endorsed by nobody. We out here as entrepreneurs, so you hear us dropping names, we just giving y'all resources, honestly. Everything that we tell you guys, really do your homework on. We're just gonna give you from our insight and our experiences. Right. So when it comes to sending money, what do you guys feel like are some of the best systems for a business owner to incorporate?
I'm gonna just pick this back off what you said. Please don't use Cash App. There's no security on either end for that transaction. And it doesn't, PayPal, if you're new in the business and you're just starting out, you have PayPal. That's an option. It's free for you to sign up. You can process things as a purchase. There is a fee, but the fee is very minimal compared to being a business owner and having somebody say, you said something, they say you didn't, and it's kind of
absolutely,
yeah,
it's worth it to have your back
exactly. So pay the 1 point. Was it 1 point? 1 point, whatever percent it is, plus $1, like pay that. So there's other things like Venmo. I wouldn't recommend Venmo either. It does have security. I just feel like for your business,
you want to use more of an actual CRM system where you can send out invoices and you can track everything.
Exactly.
So a good method of practice, I would say, you guys can let me know if it's right or wrong, is like anytime somebody purchases something, you should always send them a receipt.
Yes.
So having a system like a Square or
Yes.
something like that where you're able to track every transaction, I feel like that's beneficial.
Yes.
What do you think, Lagina?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a fan of having an actual site. I know a lot of times people just want to sell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post a picture on Instagram and just send me the money, Cash App. But I think the best measure is to have an actual website, a low-cost site that has the security certifications on there. When people are putting their information in, that it's secure. They feel secure because you've got that security measure there. A lot of times, what hinders small businesses is that they don't have the legitimacy of an actual system that people can go and look up, and they start to question, oh wow, you have a business, but do you really have a business?
Yeah.
I don't feel confident about entrusting my money and not really having a way to kind of track back to it. The other side of that coin is if you do have a website, you get that data analytics that we've been talking about.
Everything.
You can go and see what that person has purchased. You can see where on your website they've spent the most time. You're able to send them correspondences and emails and reminders and coupons. Consistently touch them and have that access to your tribe that we mentioned earlier, right? You want these people to become a tribe.
Yes.
So the way that you do that is by providing them the consistency and the constant touches. I mean, when you think about your email account, think about how many times you see messages from a particular brand that you like.
Yep.
They almost hit you at least once a week, if not, multiple times per
And
week.
if it's fashionable, they're gonna text you 5 times a day.
Well, right. They're texting, hey, we saw you went to the website. You left something behind. What about this? Here's a coupon. Come back for that. they're constantly looking for ways to, number one, engage with their customers. Number two, keep them connected and excited about what's happening next. And then also find ways to kind of incent them to purchase more and be a repeat customer. Oh, refer a friend. It's constantly that ongoing support and touches. So I think a website does really good to help a small business for a small cost. You get a safe, secure way to process your payments, to showcase your products, and to develop the tribe that we know your business really needs to flourish in the future. I mean, having an Instagram following is wonderful, but how do you convert those people into monetized dollars? That's a hard thing to do. You can have thousands of followers and none of them are buying anything. Very true. You've got to find a way to connect the dots around the safety, security, developing the tribe, having the security measures in place. All of that is usually found if you find a really good web hosting service to utilize for your platform to showcase your product. That helps, exponentially provide legitimacy and also keep that information and data, because you want to make data-driven decisions as a small business owner, because putting your dollars where they're going to be most effective is how you maximize your spending.
At the end of the day, we are all in this to make money, but we gotta invest a little bit of money at the same time. You can't be scared to invest. You have to have faith in the vision and have faith in yourself. If you're willing to do work, take a little investments, a little here and there, a little $20 a week.
Make money.
Thank you, there we go.
I knew where you're going with that.
You know. So what I would like to do is, before we wrap up this panel, is if we have any questions from the audience, we have see Corey. You have a question?
Yes. I'll let the kid go first. You got a question? Yeah. I'll go first. He goes first.
Oh, go ahead.
That's fine. We'll start with you and we'll come around.
I'm sorry, we dancing.
All right, how y'all doing? My name is Corey.
Hey, hi, Corey.
I'm the owner of Champion Circle Inc. Ink is silent though. So I had a question about the online presence that you were talking about earlier. So as a new business owner, we have a lot of hats to wear. So what is your advice for content development and then actually building the strategy on putting it on that social media platform? And then as you said earlier, man, about prioritizing the platforms, how do you read the analytics to understand which platform is the best and responsive to the content that you create?
So for your first question, what you said, repeat your first question.
Was how
You have a lot of, you said you have a lot of.
we have a lot of hats to wear. So like also we got
Gotcha.
finances,
Yeah.
we got what am I investing in, what am I researching, what am I uploading today or this week?
Yeah. So from my experience, especially having my own business and also working with other tech startups and creative service businesses, I will say one of the things that you should do is identify where your strengths are at. I know from myself, my strength is not what I consider digital marketing, marketing on social media. So I have an intern who is at Rollins College and is going for that. And so I hired an intern to create that. With that intern, I identified what the areas of my business will be focused on. Proposals, where of our services. So data analytics, I'm certified in data analytics, business intelligence, those are the services that I provide, reliability engineering. I will create content. When I say create content, it could be something simple like just a tip of the day. It could be an article that just came out that I want to share and want to do engagement on, where I want to have my audience actually comment and have a discussion on. I will identify those different articles and those different tips, and we literally have a ton of content just there, ready and piled up. So that was the first part. Build the content and get as much as you can. And then what my intern does is goes and schedules out that content. And so there's different ways to do it. There's one way where you can line up the content to what anything that's happening, what's happening in the news. And so if there was a breach that week, just like when the pipeline got breached, that would have been a perfect opportunity to start having content on security. Because everybody's looking into it. Everybody's hearing about this thing. They're actually Googling this, and so you want your content to pop up in there, and then that would draw them to your company. And then folks are probably scared. Okay, what if this happens to me? When there's things that happen in the news, it triggers people to start thinking and buying. And so when you're talking about when COVID happened, and everything was happening with COVID, people started Googling hand sanitizer, masks, gloves, and then there were, exactly, and then you have companies who started posting contents about that. Hey, one article, how to wash your hands. It seems weird, right? Like, create an article, yes, create an article on how to wash your hands. Why? Because some people did not know how to wash their hands. They don't know you should, 90 seconds under this water and doing all this. And so that's, you kind of structure it that way. Current events, maybe there's a holiday, things like that. You look at your calendar and then structure it that way.
I'd also add to that, you mentioned a little bit about how do you know which media outlet or social media you should be looking into. The reality is, if you are going about it the right way, setting up actual business accounts, Facebook, Instagram, all of these different outlets have data analytics that they want to provide to you. What you got to realize is that they want you there as a small business owner. They want to captivate your audience as well. So they're giving you analytics if you have an actual business account. Hey, people are coming to your page. People are liking your content. Here's what's happening. They're giving you this information, so it's up to you to take the time to look through it, kind of digest it, and say, okay, wow, I'm getting this response from Instagram, but I'm only getting this response from Facebook. You got to sit down and say, what product am I offering or service am I offering? What's my age demographic? What does the composition of my consumer look like? Where are those people? What are they doing? What are they interested in? How do I engage with them and touch them in a meaningful way so that they continue to come back to my social media outlet? So you first got to figure out how to engage with your audience, who your audience is, figure out what content is important to them, and then you start producing that, and then follow the analytics to say what avenue is being most successful at people consuming that data that you're creating for them.
And the last part I'll add about the content and all, you're right, as a small business owner, you wear a lot of different hats. But one thing I want to caution everybody about is when you're wearing those hats, make sure you're not putting yourself in a corner of, am I working in my business or am I working on my business? Because you see, when you have multiple hats on, you start thinking, only I can do this, only I am able to do this. And that's fine when you're small. But as you get bigger and bigger and bigger, you're gonna need a team.
Absolutely. So you bring on people to take on these certain tasks.
Exactly.
Like you'll have a website developer, you'll have somebody that just focuses on the analytics, you'll have somebody that just focuses on the SEO and the CRM. As entrepreneurs, we do wear a lot of hats in the beginning. It's because we have this vision and we want to execute it, and it really starts with us. We are the core. If we don't, take the day-to-day and we don't invest in these certain things and invest in the day-to-day grind of staying on top of, posting and, doing marketing, actual tangible marketing, like going out and meeting people, like putting out flyers, sending out mailers, doing things like that. Don't sleep on old school methods of marketing. It really does work. Right now, it may just be you. It may just be you and your team of three, but have faith in the vision. And if you see yourself scaling, you will get there. It will take time. It will take bringing together the right team, but it will come. And everybody on this stage is proof that if you stay true to your vision, ultimately, everything that it is that you're looking for will manifest.
And what it really boils down to is the consistency. The things that you do as a small business that make you successful are the same things that will carry you into scaling into a larger business. So if you've got poor, work ethic as a small business, I'll do it another day. I don't have time for it right now. I'll post later. I'll deal with something later.
it might not be for you.
Right. You know, it may be a work.
Bring somebody else
Okay.
on.
There's nothing wrong with being a work.
There's nothing wrong with that. Entrepreneurship is one of the things where it's not for everybody. You don't ever feel forced into it. But if it's for you, it will work. It will work if you really work hard at it. I think we have one more question in the front, and then we'll wrap up.
So, going. It's okay, go ahead. So, going back to online safety, companies like Google, Microsoft Edge, and other browsers and stuff, they can give you passwords, they can suggest them to you. But the thing is, they will automatically fill them in sometimes if you choose so. But that defeats the whole point of a password. Somebody could go on there, it will ask you if you want to autofill it, and there goes your password.
Very valid, and that is my son, y'all. He paid attention.
I was about to say, I see one of my future cybersecurity analysts.
So the way autofill works is it's tied to your account. So Google, Edge, you actually have an account with them. And so if you are on Google using Google Chrome, you have an account with them. It's tied to your whatever Gmail account that you set up. And it will only work, the autofill will only work if you are signed in. So if you let someone else use your laptop or that browser that you're signed in, yes, then that will happen.
So it's no longer secure at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea is to keep, obviously, to not let anyone use your laptop, but someone using Google can't get to your autofill or your passwords as long as they're not signed into your account.
Okay, okay.
But
We have one more question in the back. And
one thing I want to add to you, young man. Whenever you see something like that, you point out a very good point. But one thing I would encourage you to do, ask the question, why? Why does Microsoft Edge do that? Why does Google do that? Don't stop with the simple, oh, it makes life easier for the consumer. No, really think about why are they doing that? And when you think about why they're doing that, I don't know if y'all picked it up, but I just dropped $1 million idea on y'all. Because once you figure out why they do that, I already know why they do it. Then you figure out how to do the other way.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Hey everybody, I'm Danielle Hodge, the founder of On the Ocean, Pool Inflatables. And I
What was your company name?
Alma Ocean.
Alma Ocean, okay.
Pool Inflatables for the culture. And I crowdfunded, I raised money, I reached my goal. I got some customers. Mostly Hey, I forget to celebrate.
Make it money, easy.
Gotta celebrate a little bit. Reached my goal, and then so I shipped all my pools out to all the people I crowdfunded with, and then I've got my inventory sitting at home, and now I need to move that inventory. And so really my question is like, how do you find the right person? Because there's so many people out there telling you that they can help you find a customer, yet a lot of times you don't get the results. And so it's almost like I need that golden ticket to find like the right person to help me bring in my customers and help me find my own Ocean tribe. Like I'm sitting on products, I need to find my tribe. Is there any advice that you could give me?
People you crowdfunding, that's your first place, right? Because they're interested, they believe in you. So I would go to them first. Secondly, you may have to look at it from another perspective. So I don't know exactly what your products are, but they said pool products or pool inflatables for the culture. You know, I'm going straight to the sororities and the fraternities.
Okay.
I'm going to FAMU, because I know they got houses, I know they got pools, I know they doing parties, right? And they got culture, That's where I'm going. And then thirdly, I'm gonna look for a salesperson who's willing to work on a commission. I'm not gonna pay you $2,000 or $5,000 for you to supposedly sell. No, I will give you a portion. I want to see you bust your butt and go find me my tribe if I need to. But also, finally, the fourth place I would look is for the culture. So I'm gonna look for Black owned and operated pool companies. Either they're constructing them or they're doing maintenance for them. And I want to partner with those people. But that's 4 places where I have to go to find my tribe.
Thank you.
Just to piggyback on what he said, build your community. you already had that starting point with it. So build a community and a Facebook group, whatever it is, put them in there and then start putting in content because all of them share the same thing. They like the beach, they like the ocean, and they like to be there. So do focus that community on things around that, and that way you can keep getting more people in there to, who will want your product.
And then finally I just add, think about partnership. So you're doing things for the culture, you're an African-American woman. There's other businesses that are looking to find their tribe as well. So partner with those businesses, get access to their audience, give them access to your audience, build partnerships to where you guys are providing complementary services that this tribe that you're building up, you guys can all win together, but you gotta find a way to connect to other businesses that are in your space, not necessarily the pool space, but businesses that are providing leisure and lifestyle products. Find a way to partner with them and utilize the scale of having these different partnerships to increase your tribe and develop that tribe.
Great advice.
Thank you.
We can find customers.
They're out there. There's millions of people out there. You just gotta reach
People
them.
love to spend money.
They do.
Yeah.
So I want you guys to give it up for this panel, Rose, Lagina, and Johnathan. Also, concluding the panel, all of their information is available on our website if you would like to reach out to any of them individually, follow up with them, ask questions, pick their brains. Everybody on these panels is accessible and they are ready to help. So, everybody give it up. We're gonna conclude.